Give me a free agent that's on your mind.
Kenny Galladay. He always, like, anytime you see him, it's a highlight reel moment.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm glad that you mentioned them because you said defensive line. I think wide receiver is really stacked this year,
that
too.
as well.
Okay. Rank me your top 3 wide receivers as far as guys you would want. And you could throw in Allen Robinson as well.
Okay. Like, if...
Complete package, or you would want... say the Falcons didn't have Mount St. Julio and Calvin Ridley, and they were in the market for a wide receiver. Which one would you want on your team?
I would rank it probably Robinson 1, Galladay 2, Godwin 3. And then Corey Davis 4, and then Juju Smith-Schuster 5.
Wow, all the way down there. No love for Godwin?
I just said Godwin 3.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Jesus, I'm sleeping. Yeah. What about Will Fuller?
Oh, I love me some Will Fuller, but it's just...
Do you think he stayed healthy because of the PEDs?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like,
I don't know how we could connect that. Like, and then multiple players on Houston tested positive for the same supplement.
Well, you saw who the strength and conditioning coach was, right?
Brian Cushing, man. You know.
Man, that's psychopath.
That guy's just...
Josh was sending me a video. He sent me a video of one time he headbutted like some dude with no helmet on. He voluntarily took his helmet off, which is the dumbest thing you could do. One of the first things I learned in high school football, our coach was telling us how if a fight ever breaks out on the field, number one thing, don't take your helmet off. Even if the kid is 6'8", 320, let him punch you. Yeah. Doesn't matter. It's going to do more harm to him than to you. Just don't take your helmet off. And don't throw a punch, especially if you're like a receiver.
Yeah. I remember Jordan Reed did it one game. I'm like, what are you doing?
Dude, what about the famous fight, Andre Johnson and Finnerty? Yo, the Falcons wide receiver, right? Wasn't he the Falcons? The white wide receiver that you guys
Ryan Finnerman.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't know where you're going with these names. But
legend.
But, no, I love me some Will Fuller. It's just a matter of the drop start issue, the injury history, and he's not someone that on a week-to-week basis is always the most dependable. But he's definitely someone that scares defense. Like, you have to game plan for him because, boom, 250-yard plays change the game like that.
Yeah. Yo, you know where I really want to see him go?
Kansas City?
Nah. Yeah. Yo, the Chargers.
Ooh. Yeah, because I don't think Mike Williams can be on that team. I would love to see Green Bay, but I'm so done putting my investment in Green Bay.
We've been fantasy booking Will Fuller, Manny Sanders, and like Curtis Samuel.
Robbie Anderson, too.
Yeah, every speed wide receiver to Green Bay. It's just not going to happen. They're going to enjoy MVS and Lazard. Yeah. But, Will Fuller with Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen underneath, I think that could
take a top off.
Yeah, man.
They got money to spend.
Yeah, because they're not paying Herbert. Yeah. You know, Eckler coming back, too. I think that team – Justin Herbert checks all the boxes for that second-year MVP pick that MP and I like.
Didn't I say on the end of the year recap, Bull takes, I think if he gets a new coaching staff, which he did, he could be like top 5 quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's crazy take. I think that might be his floor next year.
It could be. It's just the Chargers curse. You just worry about the organization.
Yeah.
Every year, too. Every August, you get excited about the Chargers, and then October, it's like, why?
Yep. By the way, Danny Amendola, if you had to guess his age, how old do you think he is? 30. I was blown away.
31.
36.
Oh, I thought he was a lot younger. Like, Randall Cobb is someone I think that's 36, but he's really 30.
Yeah.
So I thought Danny Amendola was the same.
Bro, Danny Amendola, I mean, off the field resume, great girls all the time. But 36 years old, I was fucking blown away.
Be biting kneecaps this year, whatever the whole thing at Detroit's going. That's why I want Kenny Galladay. Kenny Galladay is too good to be biting kneecaps. I want to see him flying in midair, making crazy catches.
Yo, so what do you think of? Why do you have Juju so low?
He's not someone that really stretches the field. He hasn't shown he could be a number 1 wide receiver. Like, I think his best attribute besides his hands is probably his toughness, which it's not a knock, but at the same time, I want receivers to do more. I just don't see Juju as someone that can really take over games. I think he needs to be someone that's with, like, he needs to be like a number 2. Like, I think Antonio Brown, like, was pretty clear that Antonio Brown really helped him, not be the focal point. When we see him as the focal point, it just hasn't worked out. And I look even someone like Corey Davis. Corey Davis, someone that could stretch the field, make those tough contested catches. Like, I don't want to call Juju a glorified possession receiver, but he's not far off it.
Yeah. There was a meme that was going around one time, and it was, I think Juju was at like a mall, and a bunch of little kids ran around him,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like catching passes in the mall, and it was like, this is what coverage is gonna look like for Juju next year
Yeah.
without Antonio Brown,
Right.
because he was super productive those first couple of years, and
Oh, he was putting up staggering numbers.
yeah. And then you realize that, like, yo, AB might have been the reason for that.
Right. I know the quarterback play has been great. Like, I'll be the first
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
Yeah. So I just think it changed senior up, but you can't tell me the last 2 years, like, you look at Juju Smith-Schuster and be like, oh, he could be a number one receiver. Like, if I'm the Jets, do not spend crazy money on Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, build your team another way. Like, I think at best, he's like a really good number 2.
Yeah. Man, I really think I feel the same way about Corey Davis. And he's another guy that scares me a little bit because career year, he would have had 1,000 yards if he played, the 2 games that he missed. He had 984, 985, whatever it was. I forgot which one it was when I saw it. But I think he's another interesting one.
I think the market is going to skyrocket for him if the likes of Robinson, Godwin, and Galladay are on the market, because then he's probably the number one receiver teams are going to look at. And then I could see somebody overpaying. But
so you're talking about if the other guys re-sign with their said teams.
Yeah,
you're going to have to overpay to bring him in.
I think there's teams that need receivers. And, yeah, I'm not, like, overly enthusiastic about Corey Davis, but, look, he's still someone that's productive. And I think, that offense definitely held him back a couple of years. I think now, we see what he could put together. He's someone that has really good hands, really good route runner. Like, I definitely think he's a real talent. But, once again, it's like, can he be that number one? I have serious doubts about that. So it's just a matter of what team's going to take a chance. Like, I'm looking at teams like Washington, Miami as teams that I think could definitely invest in a big-time receiver. We'll see what New England wants to do. I know some people mentioned Baltimore, but I already saw reports that Baltimore is not going to sign like a Robinson or a Galladay. I don't know. Baltimore is similar to Green Bay, just doesn't want to spend on receivers.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't get that. You're only doing a disservice to Lamar Jackson.
I don't know how they're going to build a roster, but that's just the way they're doing it.
I think another interesting name is Curtis Samuel. Dude, he's 25, and he's coming off a really big year.
And you utilize him in so many
ways.
Man. Like, that factor of him, like, besides, I would say, Deebo Samuel, he might be, like, the best, like, running receiver. I forgot what they're calling him now.
Scat back
or right back or wing back. I think they call him wing back. Yeah,
wing back. Yeah.
I knew it was some soccer term, but yeah, they're starting to call these running backs wing. Like we see Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, Robert Woods, especially too. But I think Curtis Samuel, you literally see him getting handoffs at the backfield,
end around screens, downfield too. Yeah,
he is such a dynamic weapon, and I just.
Give Rodgers this guy to fuck with.
Everyone's saying that. That's another guy. But once again, am I really
PSAL's very own, man? Curtis Samuel. Let's go.
I love it. But at the same time, like, I love what he did in Carolina with Joe Brady and Matt Rule, so I wouldn't mind if he stays there. So I think whatever team gets him, they're getting a real dynamic talent, and you can utilize in so many different ways.
We haven't had a chance to talk about Carson Wentz. And the reason why I bring him up is because T.Y. Hilton is a free agent as well.
And the Colts are probably going to get a receiver.
Yeah, they're going to need one because right now, who is it? It's like Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal.
Paris Campbell, who can't stand the field.
Yeah, who's always injured. And then like 9 tight ends that they throw out there. I think they should be in the market for a wide receiver. And I think a speedster is what they would need. Because like Pittman has the size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Godwin wouldn't really fit there.
No, or...
I still say like Godwin. Like Godwin could still move. Like you saw in the playoffs, he made a big time catch against Green Bay. Big vertical route out of the slot.
Yeah,
like Godwin could move. Like I think Godwin would be a great fit there, and he's someone that can't be a number one because I don't know if Pittman could be a number one. And I think Godwin, what makes him so great, he just makes the lives of quarterbacks so much easier because he has great hands and you can still use him on these quick hitches and just hit him right there. And he's really good after the catch. So, and an offense with Frank Reich, and I think that could be a really just beneficial move. I just think Wentz, I think Wentz just needs at least one real reliable weapon. Just give him some sort of comfort because he's someone like he needs to get his confidence back because right now I don't care what interviews he does. I think he's kind of diminished and shattered right now. I need to see. You just got to build your supporting cast as best as possible to just get his confidence back because when you see a quarterback just kind of not reading defenses and just running into sacks, those are huge, just huge red flags.
I do think that was a product of the offensive line, though, too. Philly's offensive line was pretty banged up, man.
Yeah. But I just think established quarterbacks shouldn't be running to sacks. Like there were times like he would stand in the pocket and he would be getting protection, and then he would just run to sacks and then potentially force a fumble. Like you saw games against Green Bay and Dallas; these were, nationally televised games, and those turnovers were strictly on him.
Is there anything else in free agency that you were looking at? There's some offensive linemen I think that could move.
Trent Williams, I'm very intrigued by.
Trent Williams,
Joe Tooney,
Scherf from Washington.
Yeah, he's
really just solid, right? You talk about durable. I was telling Josh, I asked Josh, and I was like, yo, that's how you know football, bro. I asked him, who's the number one free agent you want to re-sign, and he said him.
Yeah.
Because everyone always goes to, like, the wide receivers, the running backs, whatever. But
no, Trent Williams, like, I don't think it'll happen, but I would love to see Trent Williams in Kansas City because I just never thought Eric Fisher was good. Like, if they could somehow get rid of Fisher and bring in Trent Williams, like, imagine having that stellar left tackle. That would be a perfect fit. Or even Indianapolis. Imagine him and Quinn Nelson together because Costanzo retired.
Yeah.
So that would be something. So I think Trent Williams definitely have a big barker. It's a great story with him. Like, the guy had like a brain issue, and then he was forced to take a year off, and then the Washington medical staff just totally misevaluated his issues, and then now he just came back, and he had a really good year.
How does that happen with a professional sports team, man? I can understand if you go to like a random ass doctor, or even like your pediatrician or whatever.
We're talking about Washington.
Yeah, I think that answers it right there.
It's sad, but that's the truth. But,
so much dysfunction.
Yeah, we didn't mention Shaquille Barrett. I want Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay has a lot of free agents.
Levante David as well. Like I want to know how they're gonna somehow keep these main core pieces because there are only 3 players that definitely have provided valuable contributions to their team and guys that they're gonna depend on.
Well, if you just look down the list, right? You got Sue, you got Gronk. Gronk, you probably bring back cheap deal. Gronk is, dude. I read somewhere that Gronk has never spent any of his salary money that he's made in his career. So it's all bonuses and signing
sponsors
bonuses
everywhere.
Yeah. So Shaquille Barrett, Levante David, Gronk, Sue, Fournette, AB. Just looking at some of these names of guys that contributed to this team. So it's going to be interesting.
But Barrett's entering his prime.
Godwin, too. I didn't mention Godwin.
Right. Even though I think he's someone that I think they'll look to franchise. But Tampa Bay is the one team. Like, I would love to see them bring back all those pieces.
Bro, Godwin made $820K last year.
Wasn't like a 3rd-round pick?
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck, dude.
And another name I want to mention just because
Ryan Suckup made more than him.
It's a crazy world.
Unbelievable.
Those rookie deals. I do want to mention, even though I know running backs are kind of, people don't value him, but Aaron Jones, I'm very intrigued.
I was going to ask you about Aaron Jones because I think we're both team don't pay running back. Or
I'm always like hesitant because sometimes I'm so into the talent. I think Aaron Jones is one of those players that I really value the talent, what he brings. Because I look at running backs that are truly weapons. Like Aaron Jones is a weapon. Like you can use in a passing game, he is going to make a difference there. Outside of Derrick Henry, I need a running back that could obviously make a huge difference during the passing game. Someone that could catch 60, 70 passes and if there's a game where our receivers aren't really getting open, you could get him and create some mismatches. I think Aaron Jones is definitely that player. Will Green Bay bring him back? I highly doubt it. I just don't see them viewing him in that way. But I think Aaron Jones is worth it. The thing is, you could say, all right, don't pay running backs, but I don't see what the big issue is if you want to give him a 2-year deal. If you do a 2-year, $20 million deal, I don't think that really handicaps you as badly as it would be. I just don't see star running backs unless you're like a Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook. You're not running backs that hit the market aren't going to get 4 or 5 year deals anymore. I just don't see it with the way running backs are these days and how things fluctuate. But you get Aaron Jones a 2-year, $20 million deal, like a team like Miami or even Buffalo, because Buffalo has money. Buffalo was very close to signing J.J. Watt. So if Buffalo just wants to get even crazier and bring in Aaron Jones, just make that offense even more dangerous. I could see as a good fit.
What does Atlanta do with Girly?
I'm not sure if Todd Gurley's going to be in the league next year.
Wow.
And that's not a hot take either.
I know.
He is very diminished.
Oldest 27-year-old athlete I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, he just those chronic knee issues coming out of Georgia, it was real. And
caught up to him, man.
Yeah, he just
Luckily for him, he made some money. He got paid.
He could go be an analyst somewhere. Like I think he's very likable personality wise. Yeah. So, we haven't really talked about quarterback market. I know Cam did an interview with Brandon Marshall. I always love Cam Newton's passion, even though I just don't see how a team goes into next year with him as a definitive starter. I think maybe he goes to Washington, put him in a competition with Heineke. I think that's a likely route. Or it would be cool. Imagine if he goes to New Orleans and him and Jameis compete as like two of the most enigmatic quarterbacks.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know if I would give up on Cam though, man. I feel like Cam, it's not like he had Kansas City weapons or even Giant weapons.
It's not bad with that. I just think the beatings he's taken. Like you just look at him physically, you just can't do the same. Like some of the throws he made last year. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But maybe in a more, obviously you want more talent around, but maybe just a more refined offense he could be better. But it's just I look at his arm, I'm just like, man. He can't make the throws that he can make a couple years ago. Like he's had so many surgeries at this point, but he's still someone that obviously should still be in the league, and I think he should be competing for a starting role. I just don't know how many teams could be offering that. I don't think it's New England.